Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm here today with some Auritas experts, and they will help guide you guys on how to get prepared for Sapphire and also how to make the most out of the event. So I have Deepak Sood, CEO at Auritas, and Stuart Rorer, AVP of Strategy and Growth. So thank you guys for coming here today. And let's just get started. What are you guys expecting to talk about during Sapphire? Stuart, let me maybe start with you on this one.
Yeah, I think the big, maybe two or three big topics, right? Obviously, the first thing continues to be migrating from ECC or even if you're already on S4, to Rise, or ultimately getting to the updated platform, right? And one of the reasons for that is obviously taking advantage of some of the new features and functionalities, and that ties directly into AI, right? The artificial intelligence being baked into the into the not only the transactional system but also the other components, right? So think about SuccessFactors and Ariba and Concur, some of the other pieces, right? And if I were to kind of add a final component of that, and it ties directly back to the AI component, it is data quality, right? Data quality is one of the biggest components of supporting the right answers back from artificial intelligence, right? And kind of tying that together with how are you tying not only the SAP data with external data sets, and again, kind of think about the partnerships with Databricks and Snowflake and Google BigQuery, et cetera. So it's a lot of it is tied to new platforms, getting web enabled, tying that to AI and extending the data value.
Yeah, Stuart, I'll extend the thought further to, I feel SAP is going to also talk about their recent acquisitions. And again, that is directly related to their data quality and data governance, whether it is the tool set coming from Reltio lately, or for that matter, the tools, whether it is LeanIX, which is integrating multiple platforms together, all around encapsulating the data suite, the data messaging, the AI messaging, and how to make it right with data quality put together.
Mm-hmm. And if I'm attending Sapphire, how can I prepare to have these conversations?
From my perspective, doing your homework upfront would be the critical piece. Of course, you'll find a lot of subject matter experts from SAP, from partners like us who are readily available, but asking the right questions and getting the concrete answers, of course, is the critical piece. So knowing the problem statement of your organization would be important. And I cannot stress enough the fact that this is a really small event. And, it used to be 3 days, sometimes 3.5 days. Now it's going to be 2 days. So everybody's going to be running around, and to secure meetings up front is going to be very important to get your questions or get your queries addressed.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, and maybe it ties into a kind of like what should you do when you're there, right? So maybe if I'll extend Deepak's commentary, not only do your research, but talk. There's not everybody from the company can go. So if you have the opportunity, if you're attending Sapphire, talk to your teammates ahead of time. Understand what questions they have, right? Not only what does your team have, but the extended team. You have this opportunity, and that's where I'm going to extend Deepak's commentary as well, right? This is where all of the experts from SAP are. Not only do you have the experts from SAP, but you have the experts from a partner standpoint as well. So when you go, do your research, understand what your team is looking for and what direction you're trying to go, and then take advantage of it while you're there, right? Make sure that you're going around to the different booths. Make sure you're setting the meeting up in advance, and again, take advantage of the experts that are there to be able to ask the question and be able to set up the next steps for your company.
And Stuart, you mentioned talking to the team internally, right? What are some of the questions that I can ask my team to understand what the problems that I'm having are, and what are the solutions I'm looking for? What are some of those questions?
Yeah, and again, I think a lot of it. Look, everybody is in silos a lot of times in companies of what they do. So really, just having that conversation about what are we trying to accomplish as a company, right? Well, what are the end goals? What are the outcomes that we want to achieve? And then secondarily to that, what tools are we using today? And again, are those tools giving us what we need, right? And so a lot of time, like I said, understanding what the outcome you're looking for is the key first question, and then that will enable the conversations. As again, when you're at Sapphire, who do I need to go talk to? And again, this is a great opportunity where like I said, the SAP experts are there, and take advantage of that. Ask them, tell them, this is what we're trying to achieve as a company. Here's where we currently are. And so a lot of times also knowing a starting point of what is my infrastructure, what are the other pieces that I have in play, again, from an architecture standpoint, and then how do I best utilize what I currently have, and tie that together with what's coming down the pipeline from an SAP standpoint.
I'll extend Stuart's thought a little bit further. This is one of the SAP's events where you will have um, a combination of both functional and technical folks together. Of course, SAP has their tech ed version, which is really technical focused get together from SAP. But this is where you will find the functional folks. This is where you will find your peers, what they are doing. This is where you're gonna find examples from SAP presenting how other organizations have been successful using the tools and the technologies. So and this is an event which will be more focused towards outcome-driven processes. What is it that you can achieve at the end of a successful implementation of a solution from SAP? So I feel it can address multiple situations for the customers. How should you be designing, or how should you be preparing for your S/4HANA transformation? If AI initiative is coming, what is the right way to do it, and what are the sample use cases and examples that can be implemented? If data is so critical, what are the areas you should be looking at, both from structured and unstructured data perspective, and how can you make sure your data is right for getting onto that initiative? So these are some of the questions that, example questions, as Julia, you have asked to look into. But I would suggest this event can answer a lot of queries for different customers.
Yeah, and again, I'll add one piece, or make one more extension. It's not only SAP and partners are there. I think Deepak makes a great point. It's other customers that are there as well, and I think that's one of the biggest values of Sapphire is your peers, or folks that are in your role or in your industry, or attempting to accomplish either functionally or technically the things that you are trying to accomplish or that you have aspirations to accomplish. So another great activity, and make sure that that you take advantage of that, is meet other customers, right? There are several either birds of a feather, right? Or as you're going to different sessions, make sure that you're not just listening to the session and then talking to the speaker. Talk to the other people that are in the audience as well, right? Introduce yourself, make connections, and that's a great way to kind of understand what are others doing, what journey have they taken, and get the lessons learned from your peers. It's a great opportunity to do that.
Thank you, guys. And just so we can wrap up, final advice of what can we expect from Sapphire 2026?
Lots of fun, exciting times, and innovation being the core messaging, I feel, will be there. And how organizations can be a lot more productive and effective in their ERP transformation journey.
Yep, agree. And the final point that I would make to that is, and it kind of ties, from the beginning of the conversation to now, right? Again, plan ahead, and plan to, look at the session categories, understand what direction you want to go. And again, the one piece of advice I can do is, like I said, plan early. Please reach out to us, obviously, and other partners that are there. But obviously, there's a way to jump on the on our website and register for a meeting. We would love to talk to you, and I guarantee you, SAP and the other partners want to have the conversations with you as well. So look forward to seeing you in Sapphire.
Awesome. Thank you both so much. We are very excited to see everyone at Sapphire. Again, just like Stuart said, you can jump into a website, auritas.com/Sapphire, and schedule a meeting with us while we're there.